In this video, I'm going to talk about my experience as an RPG Maker plugin developer over the past year in 2025, along with some behind-the-scenes drama and personal stories I've never shared publicly before. I'm Sang Hendrix. I've been a plugin developer and designer for RPG Maker for over a year now. In this video, I want to share my honest experience, the good, the bad, and everything I've kept bottled up inside for the past year. It's time for a little heart-to-heart. I won't display the receipt since this video isn't meant to be a call-out. I started out as a solo game developer. I've worked in professional studios before, but I prefer the solo life because I get to be the boss. I'm quite confident in my RPG Maker skills. I've even coached and guided people all over the country on how to use the engine. In the past year, I shifted into developing plugins, mostly for MZ. While I sell my products, my original goal was just to earn a bit of funding for Into Samamore, an action horror project I'm working on. Looking back, my early plugins were actually quite simple, but they were effective and easy to use. I spent a long time on the UX for each one. Back then, I did everything for my customers, teaching them how to use RPG Maker, making free plugins, or fixing bugs. I never said no. Early on, I didn't have many users. My most popular tool back then was non-destructive localization, which got a lot of praise, including from the developer of Artist Impact, a very high-quality and popular RPG Maker game. Making a sale is great, but the best part was seeing my plugins featured in famous top-tier projects and being appreciated by talented developers. After that, I spent 3 whole months creating RPG Maker Action Combat. It was so much fun because I got to apply my game design knowledge to the code. I designed how it works from scratch based on my own experience of using other game engines and creating games, and I'm incredibly proud of it. I released it in February 2025, and the reception was very warm. The first day it released, so many people got the plugin, and I remember showing off to my mum and dad. But with the positive vibes came some storms. 2025 has been full of drama, and honestly, I'm still not sure if I handled it all the right way. First, I dealt with people talking behind my back in public spaces where I was actually present. They just didn't know it. They mocked my English in my bundle promos and complained, laughed about the price I set for my plugins. $6 for just a CRT effect. I get a lot of complaints about my prices, which I don't grumble about. I don't force anyone to buy, and everyone has the right to choose. But what really hurt was when they said I was ruining the RPG Maker community because I sold plugins. When I read those words, I was literally shaking from the shock. I had to reach out to an RPG Maker developer I respect, who has been around much longer than me, just to talk. I asked him, why am I considered to be ruining the community just for selling something I made? He calmed me down and helped me stop shaking. It's strange. Some people sell their own games, but they don't want me to sell plugins. On Reddit, a person actually called me capitalist because plugins used to be free. I'm turning 30 in 2026, so I don't have the energy to be fake in this video anymore. If you sew a shirt, you have the right to sell it. If you finish a game after 3 months, you have the right to sell it. If I told you that you must release your game for free, how would you feel? If I said, if you don't give me your game for free, you're ruining the gamer community, you would probably feel very frustrated, right? It feels so unfair to demand that someone provide everything for free. It's like asking for pure devotion without any compensation. It feels like being taken advantage of, for real. There are great free plugins out there, and I use them for my old projects, but if you visit those developers' sites now, you'll see they are rarely updated. Sadly, most are abandoned, which is understandable. Back to those people talking about me in public, I actually replied once and caught them off guard. I just asked, ruining the RPG Maker community? They didn't show any regret. They just said I ruined it and I knew what I did. I tried to think of what I did wrong, and it was nothing but selling a plugin.
At that time, there was drama on Reddit because more developers were starting to sell plugins. People wanted a scapegoat for the shift towards paid plugins, and since I was visible, they chose me, forgetting that many legends were selling plugins long before I showed up. I was just the name being repeated, probably because Action Combat made me more visible. And the story doesn't even end there. Even as we wrap up 2025, the drama is still going strong. Someone actually suggested banning my works from the RPG Maker subreddit because people kept recommending my plugins whenever someone suggests to use RPG Maker MZ, and they started trash-talking the people who support me. Recently, someone also created a burner account on Reddit to comment on every plugin-related post, claiming Sang Hendrix sells and made $100,000. I don't know why they were spreading fake news, but the truth is, my total earnings over the past year aren't even close to $100,000. It's much lower. Sorry to burst the bubble. Another big issue is copyright. I share my progress on Discord, and 1 or 2 people have used that to copy my ideas, plugin designs, or even my thumbnail designs. I worked at the best studio in my city, so I'm used to people cloning success. It happened with mobile games all the time. It's a global issue. This brings us to the next point. You might disagree, but the more I continue on this journey, the more I sympathize with the Visustellar team for obfuscating their code. People bash them for it, and I used to dislike it too because I wanted to tweak things. If you aren't a coder, you might not care, but it does make things hard for other devs. However, just like you'd protect your game's source code, I understand the need to protect plugins. It's a no-win situation for both sides, so I try to make up for it with very dedicated support. It's honestly been so much drama to process. I've read it all, but I chose not to jump into the comments because I knew it would just be pouring gasoline on the fire. I've stayed silent for a whole year, and this video is the first time I'm finally sharing my side of things. I bet I'll run into a bit more trouble after this goes live too, haha.
Over the past year, I've had the chance to connect with many developers through the Hendrix plugin Discord channel. I support them quite often, but they also help me by answering lots of questions from new members. I believe that whether you're making a game or doing anything else, having people who support you is important to keep your spirits up. A shout out to Dreeks and Flight. These two developers have been a huge help, often answering questions on Discord while I was fast asleep. And if you've ever received my help, you might have been surprised at how quickly I reply, right? My support process usually goes like this. When I wake up, the first thing I do is check my phone and immediately respond to questions on Discord. Then I sit down at my desk to answer the more detailed questions that require fast typing and precision. When I go out to eat, for example, I'll grab any spot with Wi-Fi and continue supporting you through my phone. You could say my support runs almost 24/7, non-stop. To me, it feels just like chatting with friends. I hardly ever feel tired from simply talking. Overall, how do I feel about making plugins? It's fun. Designing every corner of a product and brainstorming is addictive. I enjoy talking to people, so real-time support isn't a chore, even if the task mountain gets stressful sometimes. There were some awkward moments in the Discord though. People used to DM me for help and I'd end up teaching them basic RPG Maker stuff for free every day for a week. That's not really my job. I should focus on the plugins, but I struggled to say no. I'd wake up and immediately check if they had figured it out. I don't do that anymore. I've learned to say no to things unrelated to my products so I don't burn out.
In 2025, the Hendrix's plugin channel reached nearly 1,000 people. Thousands of messages, countless questions answered, and a lot of happy faces. Despite the rumors and the drama, knowing I've helped so many people is enough for me. When it comes to my plugin track record, the star of the show is definitely RPG Maker Action Combat. It's hit over 5,000 downloads for the free sample demos, and I've had over 630 people purchase the standalone plugin. If you count everyone who jumped in via Patreon and my bundles, that number climbs to nearly 1,000 users. My runner-up is Pictures UI Creator, which currently has about 800 users. To be perfectly honest, these numbers are still a bit modest, but they're more than enough to keep my fire burning and keep development moving. I still have a long list of improvements to make, so my schedule for these plugins is going to be packed next year.
Of course, I can't forget my biggest achievement, seeing my work power so many high-quality projects. Some standouts include Master Quest by Jackass, Ghost Hunting Journal by Spicy Games, and Irene Homecoming by Masuku Studio.
Additionally, one thing that made me incredibly happy was being contacted by the official RPG Maker development team on X. They reached out to tell me they were impressed with the quality of my plugins and invited me to host my work on their official platform. I said yes immediately and have been working hard with them ever since. The process has been taking a while, mostly because the plugin I chose to debut there is RPG Maker Action Combat, and frankly, that thing is a massive beast. It's so huge that even by late December, we're only just reaching the product testing phase before it hits the publisher's platform. Just to be clear, this delay isn't on the RPG Maker team at all. It's mostly because I'm a bit of a perfectionist. I hold myself to very strict standards, which made the resource preparation stage drag on quite a bit. At the end of the day, I just want you guys to have the highest quality product possible. Soon enough, you'll see RPG Maker Action Combat appearing on the official RPG Maker Steam page, and I really hope you all enjoy this version. Thank you for the past year. Happy New Year to you all. Stay healthy and happy. I can't wait to see your projects launch and to support you in 2026.